What is going on? Welcome back to the Mind Your Hormones podcast. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you because I love talking to other moms and working with other moms. And obviously, if you were listening to this, you most likely already are a mom because we're talking about secondary, quote unquote, infertility. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But first off, I just want to be real with you for a second, especially because you're already a mom, so you'll get it. We're rocking with 3.5 hours of sleep right now, so bear with me in case my words are like word salad. But I'm like, I still want to get this content out there. Like, the show must go on. You already know. We are hitting like a 22-month sleep regression. Didn't know that was a thing, but little Miss Madison has hit every sleep regression so hard. Sleep progression, I like to say, to like make it myself feel better. And when I looked it up, it was just like, yeah, this could happen around this time because their speech is exploding. Their brain is just like, it's having a hard time like relaxing and like turning off because they're just growing so much. And that is so true. Like, her speech right now, it's so insane. Like, how much her speech has literally just exploded over the last couple of weeks, like saying 4 to 5 word sentences, like crazy. So I'm like, okay, like that tracks with, the reason why she's struggling with sleeping because her brain just can't turn off. But let me just tell you, it is a rough one. Her like MO is like, she'll slightly fall asleep, but she doesn't get into a deep enough sleep. Like, this is how her sleep regressions work. She doesn't get into a deep enough sleep where I could transfer her and put her back down into the crib. And also, don't come at me with like, oh, like sleep train her so she could just fall asleep on her own in the crib. Like, that's not the vibe over here. I rock her to sleep every single night. I love doing it. Anyway, but she doesn't fall asleep deep enough. So every time I try and put her down, even after it's like she should be in a deep sleep by now, she wakes up. And this went on from like, she went to sleep. She woke up like not 3 hours after she went to sleep at like 10 o'clock or something. And I was attempting to transfer her to her crib from 10 p.m. to 1:30 in the morning. Finally transferred her. And then she woke up at 5:30. And I'm like, OMG, it's like so rough. But I also tell myself in these moments, it's not what this episode is about. Maybe I should do a whole nother episode on that. I am going to do another episode on that. So let's just get into what we're talking about here. And I just wanted to tell you, like, you feel me, we're good. And I'm not complaining. This is not me complaining. Like, it's an honor that I get to support her during this. It's just, if my words are jumbled up today and I'm having trouble, this is why. And I know you get it. Okay. Anyway, so what we're talking about today specifically are root causes of quote unquote, no, of secondary quote unquote infertility. And I always put infertility in quotes because I personally don't use that term. I prefer fertility challenges, fertility issues, because infertile makes it seem like that's like a unchangeable diagnosis, like you're sterile, like you literally can't get pregnant. And I think it's like 3% of the population is sterile. It's something like extremely low. So that is just not the vibe around here. So I don't say infertility, I say fertility challenges, fertility issues. But that's really what we're talking about today is why maybe you, if you're listening to this, you are so easily able to get pregnant with your first child and you're really struggling with your second. Maybe you're struggling just getting pregnant at all. Maybe you're struggling with miscarriages, whatever it is. And if you are, like, I'm sending you so much love, like so much just, oh, I just want to like wrap you in love and warmth. And if you have had miscarriages, I recently just did an episode on the show with my friend Keisha, who has experienced 2 back-to-back miscarriages. And she came on the show and really talked about like what it felt like, how she helped herself through that. Like, I really wanted to bring that emotional side of things rather than just like the strategic stuff that I help teach you. So definitely go listen to that if that is your experience. But today, I really want to focus on why you might be struggling to get pregnant with your next baby because the thing is, it's different. Supporting your fertility once you're already a mom is different. The things that you need to do are not different because the human body is a human body, and that's what we're going to get into today. But the way that you need to support yourself and how you need to fit it into your life and the time that you have just is different. But the root causes of why you are struggling to get pregnant with your second baby or your third baby are the same reasons why some women struggle getting pregnant with their first child. But how these issues actually start are different and are more likely to happen when you are trying to conceive for your second baby, especially if it's less than 2 years since you've given birth. A lot of people want 2 under 2. I'm personally not in that camp. Everyone, like, to each their own. It's amazing. I understand the benefits of it. Like, I think it's beautiful. They're close in age, all things. I'm just personally not ready to have a second yet. And from a like strategic standpoint, on average, it takes about 2 years for your hormones to get like back to like pre-baby balance, if that's like even a thing. But it takes like 2 years for your hormones to kind of recover, right? And that's like if you're doing things to help support yourself in the process. So when we're talking, so that's why it could be even harder for you if you were breastfeeding, you maybe are trying to conceive and you are still breastfeeding, or you maybe just stopped breastfeeding and now you're trying to conceive and it's been less than 2 years since you've given birth. Like your body's been through a lot. And we're going to talk about how this is really impacting your fertility right now. But when we talk about root causes of fertility issues, in general, whether it's with your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th baby, whatever it is, could you imagine? The root causes are always going to be going back to the systems in your body that your hormones respond to, the systems in your body that directly affect your hormones, which if you've listened to this podcast for even a second, you know what I'm about to say. Repeat it after me. Your blood sugar regulation, your nervous system regulation, your nutrient deficiencies, and your detoxification pathways like your gut and your liver. And inflammation is like within there with gut health. Those are the areas of your body that need to be optimized for any and all your hormones to be supported, leading you to boosted fertility and healthy pregnancy, and also leading you to overall health and wellness, because those are the systems in your body that are actually causing your hormones to respond in a specific way. So until you work on those systems in your body, your hormones are not going to be properly supported. So it's not like, okay, let's just work on low progesterone, low AMH, high DHEA, low testosterone, like whatever it is. That's not the root cause of the problem. The root cause of the problem is where are those low or high hormones coming from? What is affecting those hormones to be presenting that way, to be responding that way? And it's the systems in your body that actually affect those hormones. So no matter what baby you're trying for, those are the root causes of the issue, those systems in our body. Now, the reason why it's different for secondary fertility issues is because it's extremely easy for all of those areas to be dysregulated when you're postpartum and when you're already a mom. Again, especially, if you're under that 2-year gap. And, we were never taught this. Like we were never taught how to support your hormones. We were never taught about blood sugar and nervous system regulation. Like we weren't taught these things. Instead, in school, we were taught about, rocks for a year, math formulas we're never going to use. Like we spent literally years learning this shit in school that none of us used, but we never learned about our hormones or fertility, how to best support our body. Like it's absolutely insane. But anyway, so it's extremely easy for these areas of your body to be dysregulated when you're postpartum and you're already a mom. Okay. And this could be postpartum 4 months, 5 months, 2 years, whatever. Now, here's how the fertility issues with baby number 2 really start. Okay. Number 1 is you go through the most energy intensive process you're ever going to go through in your life, which is pregnancy, right? Pregnancy is the most energy intensive thing you're ever going to do. You are literally growing a human and keeping that human alive for 9 to 10 months. Okay. And on top of that, you also grow an organ the first trimester. Like it's insane. Not only are you growing all the organs of the human that you're growing, but you actually grow an organ for yourself, then take care of the baby. So like name something else that's more energy intensive. Like I'll wait. Okay. The most energy intensive thing you're ever going to do, pregnancy, right? Then you go through the marathon that is birth, whether you had an unmedicated birth like I did, whether you had a, natural vaginal birth with or without epidural, doesn't matter, whether you had a C-section, whatever it is, it is very draining on your body. Okay. And most of the time, women are nutrient depleted even during pregnancy, even if they're taking a prenatal. I think it's like 90% of women Needed's the prenatal company that not just prenatal, they have like, I just love all their supplements, but that's the one, my number one recommendation for prenatals. But they have it's a study they did. I think it's 90%. Like, don't quote me on it, but I'm almost positive it's like 90-ish%. And we could link it below, but 90-ish% of women who are pregnant are depleted of essential nutrients, even when they're taking a prenatal. Okay. So you could have come out of pregnancy just nutrient depleted in and of itself. Okay. Then once you give birth, you're possibly breastfeeding, which is also extremely demanding on the body, especially in the beginning. You're doing it literally I was breastfeeding every like 45 minutes, every 2 hours, every hour and 45 minutes. Like, the vibe if you've done it before, which is obviously extremely demanding. You don't ever get a chance to actually recoup from the pregnancy, from the birth of like getting 8 hours of sleep and proper nutrition, like all these things. Like, no, right after all of that, you're now having to keep this baby alive and you're not sleeping, right? You're sleeping maybe 1 to 2 hour chunks at most throughout the night. Like it's insane. That alone can cause nutrient deficiencies and nervous system dysregulation. This is even if you're still up taking your supplements like consistently. Like I took my supplements to the hospital. I took them every single day postpartum. Like I was on my shit because it was already built into my lifestyle. But a lot of people don't. Like they stop taking their prenatal once they give birth, like which I do not recommend doing. That's a whole other conversation. But like this is going to cause a lot of nutrient deficiencies. You're losing a lot of blood, especially if you gave a vaginal birth. You're bleeding for like a month or more at a time. You're breastfeeding. All the nutrients are going to the baby. Your body is prioritizing the baby, not you. So nutrient deficiencies are so high in postpartum and nervous system dysregulation. And if we go back to what we talked about, the root cause of all fertility issues, nutrient deficiencies and nervous system dysregulation are two of those on the list. And this nervous system dysregulation, obviously, like we'll get more into that in a second, but just what we talked about alone, birth, pregnancy, breastfeeding, not sleeping, nutrient deficiencies, and nervous system dysregulation in and of itself, just from that can last for months or years after giving birth. Okay. So that's like the number one reason why your fertility is definitely different once you already have a baby. The second is your nervous system. Let's go deeper into that. It's like when you're a first time mom, like no one knows what they're doing. Like whether I have nieces and nephews that I like take care of all the time, like I always babysat, like all these things. It's different when you become a mom and it's your job 24/7 to keep this baby alive, right? It's very dysregulating, right? It could be anxiety producing, like aside from your hormones being all over the place, but like, I remember when she would finally sleep for like an hour and a half, I was like, can I pay someone to just watch her sleep? Like, I just need someone to watch her to make sure she's breathing. Like, that is dysregulating on your nervous system. Your entire life just did a 180, right? This in and of itself is extremely dysregulating. Nothing in your life is the same. Literally, in an instant, everything is different. That is dysregulating on your nervous system. It could put you in fight or flight mode. All of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, everything is different. I have to take care of this baby. Like, I have to make sure she's alive, she's safe, she's well. Am I doing everything right? Like, it can be very, very dysregulating. Now, it doesn't have to be, right? You can have support systems in place. We could do like when you have the tools to actually help support yourself, this could be a lot less dysregulating, right? Like I personally didn't have an extremely anxiety producing postpartum. Like I had a really beautiful postpartum experience. The first week was like really hard. Like I was crying a lot. Like it was definitely tough. But after that, like I felt pretty good, but I still was anxious. Like I wanted to watch her breathing, like all the normal things you go through. And I still had things in place, but it's still dysregulating. Your entire life is different. And on top of like just the normal things of keeping the baby alive, like there's all these societal pressures of quote unquote bouncing back, bringing baby around all these other people, having people visit them, having to bring them out, like you not having to, you obviously do not need to do that, but these are societal pressures, worrying about them, the changes and the strains on your relationship, like navigating going back to work, again, not sleeping, like the drill. All of this is so tough on your nervous system. And then past baby age, once you get to toddlers, I mean, hello, opportunities to regulate your nervous system. Like, damn. I'm so glad I know how to support my nervous system because I mean, I could see how it can just be extremely volatile when you have a toddler and you don't know how to regulate yourself, when they're dysregulated, when they're having really big emotions, when they are like, flipping out because you cut the banana and they wanted to hold the banana, or you like this happened at dinner last night. Like I had a bowl of like pasta visual soup. I gave her hers. She wanted mommy's. She wanted to mix mommy's. So I said, okay, you can mix mine, but then I'm gonna eat it. It was a whole thing. She wanted mommy's bowl. She wanted her bowl. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. This is dysregulating for your nervous system if you don't know how to properly support yourself. Okay. But these are things that are going to affect your fertility. All right, you already know we do not use toxic products around here, whether that's on our skin, our beauty products, our skincare products, like whatever it is, including our household cleaning products. And if you're listening to this podcast, you already know that that is so freaking important for your hormones, for your overall health and wellness, for supporting your endocrine system, like all the things. There are so many amounts of like toxic ingredients in like household cleaning products that are just standard run of the mill you could just get in the store, literally thousands that are directly connected to issues with your cycle, your reproductive system. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I don't even need to get into that because you'll listen to this, you already know the vibe. But what you maybe have felt like I felt in the past is that it's really hard to actually find household cleaning products that are non-toxic, but that actually work. I cannot even count the amount of brands that I've gone through over the years, and I was just using them because they were non-toxic, but they weren't really working that well. And I have never looked back once I found Branch Basics. I'm not joking. I've been using them for years, and it is the only household cleaning products I will ever use. And I'm so excited to bring this to you and that they are sponsoring this episode because this is going to change the game for you. Not only is it obviously such an important step in your overall health and wellness, in your fertility journey, when you're pregnant, when you have kids around the house, like all of the things, but they actually work. They're really, really good. And I'm obsessed with them. I love the company as a whole. Like they're just such good people. I'm obsessed. So you need to know about them if you don't already. You just go to branchbasics.com. Obviously, they're like human safe, they're people safe, plant safe, like all the things. And they have so many different products from like laundry detergent, dishwasher, like glass cleaner, surface cleaner, everything. So my like number one recommendation, especially if you are wanting to like just refresh all of your, household cleaning products, especially this time of year, if you're listening in real time, like spring cleaning, let's go. I recommend getting the starter kit. And that's actually what you could say 15% off on with my code Corinne15. And I'll put all the information in the show notes. But the starter kit is going to make your life so much easier because you get everything you need. It has the concentrate. And what's really cool about Branch Basics is that you order like everything once and then you make the solution yourself. And don't worry, it's super easy. It's literally just a concentrate and water and that is it. So when something runs out, you can easily just replace it and you don't have to buy it a million different times. So it's so cost effective. So the starter kit gets you that concentrate, which is like the multi-purpose cleaning solution that you use for everything. So you get a huge thing as a concentrate and it lasts you forever. You get the oxygen boost, which is really great for like helping whiten your clothes without bleach. And it's also just good for like your tub and just like whitening any surface areas you want. The laundry detergent, I love. I've been using it for since it came out on Madison as well. It's the only laundry detergent I've ever used for her. Dishwasher tablets, so good. It comes with the reusable plastic bottles for your all-purpose cleaner, your bathroom cleaner, your like glass cleaner, streak-free bottle, and your foaming wash bottle for like, like hand soap. So it comes with all of that. It is amazing. And you can get 15% off with my code Corinne15. It is so cost effective. And this is going to last you so long. And it gets you like everything from your laundry detergent, your dishwasher, your household cleaning, like surfaces, everything. Highly, highly recommend checking them out. You can go to branchbasics.com and use code Corinne15 at checkout for 15% off their starter kit. Branchbasics.com, 15% off their premium starter kit with my code Corinne15. I'm obsessed. You're just going to love it. And I can't wait for you to try them. Come let me know if you have any questions or when you do get them and you love them so much, let me know that you got them as well. Branchbasics.com, use code Corinne15 at checkout. Okay. The nervous system specifically directly causes your fertility to take a negative hit because your nervous system is tied to your cortisol levels, right? Everyone knows that cortisol is your stress hormone. Okay. One of your stress hormones. And it's tightly connected to your sex hormones. All of your hormones are connected. But the more that your body has to produce cortisol when you're triggered, when you're in fight or flight mode, when you're stressed out, that cortisol is spiking, the more that cortisol has to be produced, the more it strips your body of progesterone because we don't just have an endless amount of cortisol. And our body will use our sex hormone progesterone, which is the hormone needed to get and stay pregnant. It will use that progesterone to produce more cortisol. So the more you're spiking that cortisol up, we're stressed because we're not sleeping. That's stress on the body. Up, we're skipping meals. Up, our child is having a tantrum. Up, I'm not. I am. I have to go back to work and my baby's sick or whatever. Like all these different stressors, your cortisol is spiked. Your progesterone is getting lower. The higher your cortisol, the lower your progesterone, which is the hormone needed to get and stay pregnant. Okay, so this is this is a major reason why people will experience some secondary fertility issues. The third thing is when you do have a spare moment, you are like, and we're talking about like eating and we're talking about gut health now. When you have like a spare second and you go to eat, you're not like sitting down and having like a nice peaceful meal. Like even if you have, like we have sit down dinners every single night, we eat dinner as a family, but it's not always like, oh, like candlelit, like we're having a nice conversation. Like sometimes it's rushed because like she either needs something or she's eating fast and she's so tired, we have to get her to bed. Like, that is the most regulating meal of the day because we are all sitting down together. And it's way more regulated now with like breakfast and lunch, we sit down, but especially in the beginning stages of like, postpartum time, this is really when that hits, like where it affects your gut, and like when they're first born, right? Like when you are shoveling food in your mouth at any chance that you get, you're most likely just eating while you're breastfeeding, while you're driving, while you're getting ready, if you're getting ready. You're most likely skipping meals, like we'll get to that in a second with blood sugar. But in the beginning stage of postpartum, when you don't have a second because you're feeding this baby every few hours, and it's like, when am I eating? I'm just like eating on the go. You're not in rest and digest mode. You're eating in fight or flight state, which is your sympathetic nervous system. Okay, we want to be in our parasympathetic, our rest and digest nervous system when we eat, because that's when your body can actually digest your food. When you eat in a fight or flight state, your sympathetic nervous system, your digestion is turned off, which means you're not actually digesting your food. So it causes inflammation and negatively impacts your gut in a big way. And it could, when your gut is impacted, it's obviously going to further cause issues with absorbing nutrients. It's adding to more of your nervous system dysregulation because your gut and your brain are directly connected via the vagus nerve. So when we're eating in this fight or flight state, which we all are in the beginning of postpartum, your gut is negatively impacted. Your digestion is turned off. So you're just like pretty much eating food and it's not getting digested. And this is going to cause things like inflammation, gut dysbiosis, leaky gut, all of which makes getting and staying pregnant harder because your gut is the center of everything. Not only is it where we absorb nutrients. So like if your gut is inflamed, if it's off, if you have leaky gut, dysbiosis, all these things, you're not going to be able to properly absorb the nutrients needed to actually have strong ovulation, to create healthy embryos, all these things. But your gut is also where we get rid of excess hormones and toxins out of the body. And if we are not, having a healthy gut and we're having healthy bowel movements and all these things, you're not going to properly eliminate these excess hormones out of your body. So then they will recirculate back into your body, causing imbalances. This is why gut issues are so prominent postpartum. I took a gut test. If you listen to that episode, I did like my full consultation on the show, literally live. I did a stool test with Gut Personal back in September because I know I have gut issues going on. I could tell. I know I'm more bloated. Like I've had gut issues in the past and I haven't had gut issues in the past. I know the difference. And I know my gut took a hit postpartum, and most women's do. And I took a stool test and I have some candida, some H. pylori, I had some low digestive enzymes, things like this. Some of the stuff that I need to do to heal it, I can't do because I'm still breastfeeding. So I'm just like, I just got to wait it out. Like it just is what it is. But I know it's affecting me in certain ways. It's like still shocking to me that I'm even getting my period with all that going on. But anyway, that's a different conversation. But this is how your gut can be impacted postpartum and how it can affect your fertility. And then moving on to the fourth thing is blood sugar regulation, dysregulation, I should say. You're likely either were or still are skipping breakfast, drinking coffee on an empty stomach, having way too many hours between meals. Like all of these things dysregulate the shit out of your blood sugar. I just did a specific episode on like if you're trying to conceive and you're a toddler mom, like this is the number one thing I want you to focus on. And it was blood sugar regulation. So go back to that episode if you missed it. But when you're doing any of those things, your blood sugar is immediately impacted in a negative way, impacting your cycle and your fertility in a negative way, right? And it's also going to cause more fatigue, 3 p.m. crashes, brain fog, irregular cycles, irritability, anxiety, more sleep disturbances, if that's possible, headaches. Like it'll affect you in the immediate like symptoms that you're experiencing. And then also in your long-term health with your like fertility, your cycle, your sex hormones, because everything is connected. Inositol, LOL. Insulin is a top tier hormone. So, and that's connected to your blood sugar. So when your insulin levels are off, it will negatively impact every single other hormone in your body. It's like a domino effect. It's like the top of the chain. When that goes off, it's like dings everything else that's off. And doing these things like going too long between meals, not properly pairing your meals, skipping meals, having coffee on an empty stomach, skipping breakfast, or not eating breakfast till 3 hours after you wake up. These are things that are going to negatively impact your blood sugar. And these are things that a lot of moms are doing because you're used to being like, not you're used to. I should say some of these things weren't as much of an issue when you got pregnant with your first because you only had you to take care of, right? Like, obviously maybe you had like, your partner or whatever, but like your focus was able to be on you. It wasn't like you were focusing on, okay, let me feed them. Let me make sure they're taken care of. And then if I have time, then I'll take care of me. So like your priority shifted. your focus shifted. So all of these things can be very common in, when you're already a mom, and it is impacting your fertility. So this is why a lot of women didn't experience issues getting pregnant with their first, but they are with their second. And this is just like a small snapshot of the negative cycle that can actually happen when you become a mom that makes getting pregnant with baby number two harder. And like, honestly, I really believe some of this is inevitable for a season. It's just inevitable. Like, your nervous system is just gonna be dysregulated when you first have a baby. It just is. Like, again, we have tools to support ourselves, but your life did a 180. Nothing can prepare you for it. Nothing can prepare you for it. There's just going to be seasons when you're not sleeping. There's nothing you can do about it. There's going to be seasons when you're going hours between meals because you literally forgot to eat, something I never thought was possible until I became a mom. Like, and in the early stages, I don't really do that anymore, but like in the early stages, I did, because I was just focused on feeding her every freaking hour and a half. Like, some of these things are inevitable for a season, but your hormones do not have to stay this way. I just wanted to paint the picture for you of why you might be experiencing these secondary fertility issues, so you're not freaking out and being like, oh, I'm just infertile, I can't have another baby again. It's like, no, it's just your body's been through a fucking shitload of stuff, and you haven't been able to properly support yourself as best as you were able to before you had your current baby. But you can now. You can learn simple strategies you could do in your day-to-day life that will help your hormones rebalance, so you can easily get pregnant with baby number two and have a healthy pregnancy, right? Like, and I know if you're listening to this, you're obviously willing to do whatever it takes. Like, that's not the issue. You're willing to do whatever it takes to not only have another healthy pregnancy, but to also feel the best that you possibly can and be the best mom you can to your current baby. Like, I know that about you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this. You just need the knowledge and the simple actions to take to get you there, because who the fuck has time to figure this shit out on their own? Truly, who has the time for that? And also, I don't want you to be going to your doctors and then telling you, like, okay, just like start IVF. You're already over 35 anyway. Like, just start IVF or clomid or letrozole or whatever. And you're like, wait, but like, maybe it's just that my nutrients are depleted because, I wasn't properly taking supplements and my gut was fucked up, so I wasn't able to absorb them. Or maybe my gut's just messed up, so let me just heal that. And my blood sugar, like, let's look at these things. Let's get your body, because here's the other thing. You don't want to just get pregnant. You want to have a healthy pregnancy, and you want to feel good during that pregnancy. If you're going into your second pregnancy depleted because you weren't properly, like, you weren't as strong as you were going into your first, that's going to impact how you feel in your second pregnancy. And you're also wrangling a toddler the next time you're pregnant. So like, we really want to make sure that you are as strong as possible going into this next pregnancy for so many reasons. Because also, how you enter your pregnancy is how your postpartum period is going to be. Like, the hormonal balance you have when you're entering pregnancy is going to impact how they are postpartum as well. So like, I want you to prioritize all of this, not only so you can get pregnant and have a healthy pregnancy, but so you could feel your best during that pregnancy for the baby you're growing, for yourself, for your partner, and for your current child. And so you can feel the best you can postpartum. Like, this is the picture I wanted to paint for you so that you could understand why you might be experiencing this, and that there is a way out, and it doesn't have to be complicated, right? So like, your focus should not be on like LH strips and the Mucinex theory and just taking progesterone cream and all this other bullshit. It needs to be on healing your body from postpartum that you maybe haven't even done yet. So two things I want you to do. Number one is, if you haven't already listened to my free masterclass, it's my free Trying to Conceive masterclass. There's 5 simple strategies you can start literally immediately to help support you. Definitely go listen to that. It is so good. It's completely free. That's number one. The second thing is, if you are like, yeah, you'll watch the free masterclass, like, okay, like, sign me up. But also, you're like, Corinne, like, when you said, like, you just don't have time to figure it out on your own. And you're like, I'm just ready for like your step-by-step roadmap of exactly how to boost your fertility for a healthy pregnancy, all while improving your overall health in the process, like, and rebalancing postpartum, whether you're 5 months postpartum, you're 2 years postpartum, whatever it is. That is where the Mind Your Hormones method comes in. Like, this is simple. It's proven. It's exactly how to get you there. I know you don't have time to be scrolling and finding the next best tips and just piecing shit together. Who the fuck has time for that? And you deserve to be and feel supported during this. And so anyway, I highly recommend the Mind Your Hormones method for all of that. I'll put the link for that in the show notes. You could always use code podcast for 10% off. And then obviously, if you want more like close proximity support for me so that I can really tailor things to your specific life and help you like emotionally through the process, walk with you every single step of the way, personalized protocols for you, like audit your food journal and your BBT and like my eyes on everything, then I would recommend the Trying to Conceive Accelerator for that. That's where I'm working with you for 6 months, one-on-one in an intimate group with other women who are going through this as well. So just message me if you want information about how we can work together like more closely. The Mind Your Hormones method is totally self-paced, which is what I love for moms, because you could listen to it on the go, you could listen to it while you're cooking. Like it's short training, so like 15 to 20 minutes, like it's very digestible. Anyway, highly recommend. But I really hope this episode made you feel, give you hope and make you feel comforted of like, oh, it makes sense why my fertility is struggling, for my second, and that you feel empowered knowing that there are things you can do to support yourself. And also, this cannot go without saying, sperm health is of course 40 to 50% of this. So make sure your partner is on his shit as well. Okay. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Please share this with another mom who might be trying for their second, whether they're trying now or they're going to be trying eventually. Like this is going to be so helpful for them. I always appreciate you. Like you are the reason why the show is growing, because you share it with your friends, you share it on social media, you message me. Like I just love it so much. So I appreciate you. I hope this helped you. Please let me know how you love this episode, and I will talk to you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. If you loved this episode and learned something valuable, please share it with a friend who you think would also love it, or post it on social media and tag me so I could personally say thank you for helping me spread this important message. I am beyond grateful to be here with you. So until next time, stay intentional, stay consistent, and always mind your hormones.